So this is it. This is the real hand destruction in DBS. And in my personal opinion, I think Set 4 really introduced a lot of different stuff when it came to hand destruction. And there were a few things in Set 3 and Set 2. But with the introduction of a lot of different things, hand destruction is a fine and dandy thing. Hand denial is a fine and dandy thing. And there's a few cards that made this all possible. One, Android 13, obviously going to be a very big factor in this. Combo Killer, which is my, I would say, top 3 favorite. He is up there in the top 2 favorite SRs in the Set 4 set. And as well as Relentless Mirror Destruction, the new Kid Gohan, the Android 15, etc, etc. So it's been a while since I did a deck profile, let's put it that way. So mind me if I'm a little bit rusty. So let me explain the reason of all of these conjunction of cards, and the more that I explain it, the more that you'll see exactly why I'm doing this and why this may or may not work. So first things first, the goal for you is to get your Android 13 out, get your Combo Killer out, and to manage the board in hand. And as you go up, you have more and more hand advantage, board control, and slightly and slowly getting their hand to dwindling 1 or 2 from their hand, basically. So that is the goal of this deck. And after you do that, you swing over with the SRs, or you swing with Android 13, or you swing with a little bit of spice of Son Goku for triple strike 25,000. So the first thing about this deck is you'll notice that it's not so much of a practical Super Saiyan 3 Goku deck. It's more of a being able to play whatever you need to do and then not worry too much about the next turn. What you do want to do in this deck, however, is to open up with one of the Android 15 and 14s in order to drop down and then play your energy, because you're allowed to drop from one of your hand, which is one of the reasons why, one of the many reasons why I played this leader, and to drop 1 and then play 2 from your life, and that just helps a lot. With the Son Gohan, if you're going second, he is going to be your #1 pick as far as a turn 1 play, so that way you can awaken, attack, and draw. And if you don't have one, the Khalifa is there for another option. And then you have Legendary Flute in order to return it to your hand. So to explain all these cards, Gohan, you play this card, you attack, you choose 1 from your life, and gains 10k in crit. So it's 15,000 critical. That's hand denial right then and there. Khalifa, you play this card, and the permanents aren't really that great, but when you play it, you choose one card from your life and add it to your hand. It just helps for self-awakening. Both of these are targets for Legendary Flute. And I'll kind of get into later which other targets are, but this one, if your leader card is blue, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or your own with 3 or less and return it to your hand. And if it was your own, you draw 1. So when you do this and you have a Legendary Flute and as well as Gohan, that's going to be your turn 1 play every single time. If you're going first, you're going to be dropping a 14 or 15 and then maybe playing a Human Shield Krillin, and then end your turn. That's it. That's all you have to do. The next turn, you can play Gohan, Khalifa, whatever. You don't want to give them any cards as much as possible. That's the whole goal of hand destruction, making sure to control their hand, etc, etc. So after you do that, after you awaken and do all that other jazz, these Khalifas are pretty much useless. That's why I only have 2. I used to run 4, but I realized I was like, I'm going through cards pretty quickly, and I'm awakening pretty quickly. Even if they have crit, I really don't care, because these guys right here are good for that. You want them in the drop area. You want Krillin in your drop area. That's okay to me. And the more that you have in the drop area, the better likely that you'll have the 13 to proc off, and as well as the Mira. So that is the turn to 1 to 3 plays. The other play is that you could play this man, and when you play him, they choose 1 card from their hand and place in a drop area. And a lot of the time they're gonna be doing that. I mean, it's either this or this. and you can play this and then swing with it and then just let them attack it. You want it in your drop area, honestly, that you just want that there, so that way you can get ready for Android 13. You have to be careful with Mira, but that is another legendary flute target in which you play the Mira over Realm, making sure these guys are in there, and then a legendary flute it and then just do it again next round. That's it. Your turn 4 play, or 4 energy at least, is going to be the combo killer Anilaza. I'm never going to get that right. He has barrier, double strike, and then every time that they, once per turn, when your opponent chooses when your opponent combos, they choose 1 card from the hand and drop area. This is the most disruptive card I've seen in a long time, and people just hate this card. They hate this card. It is so crazy, in which what they're focused on is this card, and I'm like, dude, it's just 1 per turn. It's not that bad, right? Like, it's just so funny. So the real thing about this card, and this is the whole reason why I built this deck the way that it is, and the whole reason why I love this deck, is because of him. So 1, he's not 1500, he is 20,000. So if their leader is attacking it or something else is attacking it, it has to have some good attack power in order to go against it. And most of the time, I'm gonna be comboing out to protect it, and that is just so annoying for them, because if I combo out and they combo, they already have to drop 1. So that's one thing. The other thing is that on your turn, you usually don't swing with him, but you swing with something else, either with a Gohan, which they will want to either counter, or combo, which both of those things they have to drop a card. Or if they combo out, they have to drop a card on your turn, and now they have to deal with this card on the other turn and see if they can remove it, which with barrier, it's very, very hard. It's hilarious. I just love it. Those are just a few examples of which this card kind of does it. And I usually go for game with this card because, again, 20,000 double striker, after swinging with this guy, dropping some cards, swinging with another double striker, swinging with him, dwindling their life in, because now they don't have cards in their hand, now they want cards from their life, etc, etc, and swinging for this card in the game where they have to combo is great, because now they have to drop 1. If you have Android 13 out, they have to drop another if it's a battle card. If you have 2 of them out, now they have to drop 2 on both turns. It is just great. It is just awesome. Now, a couple other things. You might be asking why I have the nail. The nail is there for draw. You only have to have 2 bond cards, or 2 battle cards on the play, or in play, for the bond to go off. So you're gonna have a human strike Krillin, human shield Krillin, and then nail at the same time. You still get the draw and get 5,000. There's no issue with that. It's just 2 for that, 2 for this. That's why. The full power energy kind of plays against everything. You can pop 1 drops, or if you're going to get something aggro, if a well-timed counter is always good. And range Gohan Awakening is the same thing. It's just that you drop 1, which helps with these 2, or with the Caulifla if it's not, useful. And then you get to KO something, which anything without barrier is good, especially the Victory Striker, which is always good, unless they have a bad ring. So, hey, deal with it. And then some spice again is the Awakened Rage Son Gohan, or Son Goku, in which if you have Krillin, which you will in the drop area, to block, again helping with aggro in the early game, it gains triple strike. And when you play this card with 6, which he has up to 6, which you will have by the end of the game, you choose any of the opponent's battle cards with 6 or less at the total cost and then KO them, which is awesome, because at this time this guy KOs something, which is the double striker, and if it KOs 3 or less, you get the draw, helping your draw phase, your draw in general, I guess. This guy, when you play him, they choose 1 battle card and KO it. This guy, when you play it, they choose 1 battle card and KO it. So like at that point, they really just don't have any cards on field or hand, and you can just go for game. But the trolley sort of thing here is just all the board destruction and everything, and barrier. So this guy I just recently added in because he has double strike for 20,000 for 4. So he is basically his best buddy right here. I only have 2 because most of the time these guys are doing their thing to kill off whatever they need to. But this guy, once per turn, if you have 2 or more, which this guy's gonna be there, and then this guy's gonna be there, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay anything. You just sit there with these 2 cards and you KO it. So anything that they come out with, whether it's a Kale or a Jiren or whatever, counter it or whatever you want to do, and then the next turn you just KO it. That's it. It's just so good. Like, that is just so good. Now, coupling it with these 2 cards right here, KOing it something else again, and then having this guy in the field where they have to drop cards in after they combo, and then this guy KOs anything on their field, in which procs off this effect where they have to drop one afterwards. That is just so good. Like this is such a fun deck, and I hope to bring this into like regionals just to have fun with and see how far I can go at one point, or at least I'm definitely gonna be playing at locals, but it is just so fun. Like, it is just like I play this deck maybe a dozen and a half times at this point, and every single time it's just a fun time. I feel bad sometimes having a 2 combo killers and an Android 13 sometimes, but like it takes some time to get used to the deck and understanding what you want to do, but over time it's just so much fun. But that is pretty much the deck profile. I can go over real quick the mulligan as well, just in case. All right, let's talk through opening hand. So first, there's 2 things that you want to see in your opening hand. Boost Attack Piccolo isn't actually not the best, not the worst card to see actually. Sometimes I would keep that, but you're gonna have to drop one of these guys, which, since you're running 4 up for both, it's gonna be easy take or easy open. So I would probably keep this guy, because most of the time I'm not going to be playing him. I'm going to be playing this guy instead. So I'm going to be dropping everything except for him, especially this man. I play him at 4 because for some reason I always draw into him. So, oh, this is good. Oh, this is perfect. This is good. This is good. So let's say if you're going first, right? The first turn, if you, well, let's draw for life. Let's just do that first. So the first turn, again, it's gonna be, you drop that guy, you shake the card, shake, you play for 2. Look at that, 2 greens, especially what we want to see. If you're going turn 1, or if you're going first, I would probably play him, and then keep one open for full panel energy, depending on what you're going against, right? If you have the blocker, you can use a blocker if you want, but I would personally play the full panel energy to do that. And later in the game, you could play the full panel energy as well and KO something, but most of the time early in the game, you're gonna be KOing that. Let's say if you're going second turn, you already know. If you don't have a legendary flute, I'm playing both of these bad boys. So swinging for both of these guys, getting both of these life cards, and then I'm just doing that out of habit. Awakening in order to get these cards, and there you go. I mean, that's pretty much all you need to do in order to do that. And you swing over, you draw, and now you have an Enraged Gohan Awakening for anything they're gonna attack, whether it's a EX Evolve or whatever for first turn, which is a thing. And now they're gonna be getting rid of these, which I don't know why people swing with these or to these, because I have 4 life and I want to keep it that way. But hey, that's all you, my man. And that's it. I would probably charge. A Piccolo, depending on the matchup. If it's a matchup where they're gonna have some stuff on the field, or they're gonna be summoning something later on that's pretty powerful, and you don't want to use your Rage Gohan Awakening, I would probably keep him and then charge this one, because you do have 4 in the deck. You're gonna be running into them pretty often, and with this, you have a couple options. You could play the Nail, so that way you can draw some more. You could play a Krillin as well. I think that's really the only plays here, actually. So play the Krillin, block it off, play the Nail, swing on over to whether it's your their opponent's leader, which you don't really want to do, or one of their battle cards, and you get the draw for him, you get the draw for Goku, and then there you go. If these cards, if you really want to attack with them, you can, but I personally don't recommend it. and then this guy gets out, and you probably don't want to use the mirror. I would probably charge the mirror and then keep it going. There you go. There's your opening hand. So, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. It is definitely a personal favorite for me. It's nothing, I don't know if it's gonna be competitive, but it's definitely gonna be rustling some Jiminy's. And like every time I play this deck, they're like, what are you even doing? I'm like, well, you'll see, you'll see, good sir. But it's definitely a fun deck. I'm very happy to share it. I would love to see different versions of this deck. I would love to see some play out of it. And if you catch me on Untap, I'm definitely gonna be playing this one time or another, if I'm not playtesting something else. So, I hope you enjoyed. Again, subscribe if you're new, subscribe if you like it, like if you do, like if dislike if you don't, comment if why you don't, comment if why you do. And the next one is going to be a GT Vegeta deck that has the triple flash in it, and I do like that deck quite a lot as well. So stay tuned for that one, subscribe for that one. I'll see you in the next one. Later.